Hello, my name is Carlos Camacho and the topic of this presentation is classroom-based language assessment. So assessments are a way to gather data so you can change your approaches or methods on tackling a topic or an issue. In the context of teaching, you would assess your students' knowledge to accommodate their needs in what you're teaching them, if they might need more help or if they're already over what you taught them. That way the class can move on. And the point of the assessments is to gather actual data to accommodate the needs of your students. So if there are just assessments and the teacher doesn't change anything out of the classes that he gives, there's no purpose on the assessment. It would be no different than a mere test. On Norway, there's a national English test for 8th graders across the country. So here the purpose of the assessment is to give the teachers a way to know the level of their students so that they can achieve the desired result of them knowing English, right? So this comes with consequences because it's a big thing. It's in the whole country. It comes to the point that schools compete with each other for high scores. So that defeats the purpose of the assessment because these assessments are made in the beginning of the year, so of the school year. So they're supposed to gather data on the level of the students and not really make them prepare for the test, like if the scores really mean anything. The only purpose of the assessment is for the teachers to have data they can begin from to accommodate the needs of their students. So that's an issue, and that's something that's not the desired outcome of the assessment. Another thing is that since they're made at the beginning of the school year, the teachers don't really put the effort of doing the test. So since it's such a nuanced thing, they don't really give it the attention it deserves. So most of them just like glide through it and do the test and just don't really go back to that anymore the rest of the school year. And they are actually given like instructions on how to put the test and what to do with the data that they gather from the students, but they don't really put the attention it deserves because they have all of the other things that they have to do for the school year. So that's just like a stepping stone. Like they don't really put that much thought into it, and that's an issue too. There's also the things for the stakeholders, like the in the case of the parents, they they don't really care either. Like there's not even a question to their children, how was the test, or like what score did you get. It's just like something that you just go by, nothing of importance, and that defeats the purpose of the assessment. And that's why I chose these two pictures, because there's either the two sides of the stick. There might be kids that are desperately trying to get a high score, and if they get a high score, that's not a good thing either, because what we need from the assessment is to get the data so that the classes can be modeled or changed to accommodate the needs of those students. Or we get a student that doesn't really care about the test and just gets the worst score he could possibly get, and that's not a good thing either because it defeats the purpose. So the only way that we could change the consequences of the assessment to beneficial ones would be that everyone's aware of the purpose of the assessment and that everyone cooperates so that the data that the teachers gather from these tests are actually helpful for their plannings and their approaches when they get to the classes. The only way would be that the parents and the students get into it, like they are actually are instructed on what's the purpose of the assessment, and then with the actual data that's validated like it actually helps everyone. They can accommodate the learner's needs, and with that data, they can actually figure out which children have different needs and who actually has problems in learning what the desired result of the of the program is. So that's it. It's a really good document. Everyone should read it, and that's about it. Thank you so much for watching.